Hey, Ben, thanks for joining me. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, yeah, my name is Ben. I'm a senior at Tufts University studying computer science. So in my last semester of college, or last year of college now, and yeah, looking forward to getting out into the world and kind of finishing up college strong. So pretty exciting time now.
Cool. And I reached out to you because I was excited about the work you're doing at Jumbo Ventures. I know you're one of the co-founders. Like, what need did you see on campus that led you to want to start this organization?
Yeah, I mean, really, just I'm somebody who has an interest in entrepreneurship, and I was looking to create a community of people on campus who had that same interest. So really the fundamental purpose of it was building community. I think everything else about Jumbo Ventures is really secondary. We do a lot of events and like educational type stuff, but really the main purpose of it was I wanted to meet other entrepreneurs, learn from them, and just create a community of people with similar interests and ambitions and goals as me. And I didn't really find that on campus my freshman
Mm.
year. So a friend of mine and I just we talked about it a bit towards the end of freshman year, and then over the summer we kind of got to work on it and made it happen. And now here we are, I guess 2.5 years later, and we've kind of taken the first steps towards actually starting to build an entrepreneurial community on campus.
Awesome. And how does one get into this community? Is there some sort of like application process? Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, sure. So originally, for the first 2 semesters of the club, or first three actually, we had an application based process. So people would kind of apply to be members of the cohort. Um, and we moved away from that to it just being a more casual type group where you can show up whenever you want. It's very low commitment, low pressure. We may pivot back to doing up applications like again, so this information is all likely to change. But as of right now, it's basically just we have a club meeting once every 2 weeks on Wednesday evenings, and it's just a space for Tufts entrepreneur students to come together. We'll do kind of different activities and stuff, but for now, it's just show up whenever you want and have whatever sort of involvement in the club feels appropriate to you.
Mm. And what do you see as like the biggest opportunities to improve this club, and where do you want to see it go? I guess like long term.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think long term, the biggest thing would just be getting more students involved in it,
Mm.
especially students from different backgrounds, by which I mean like something I've thought about a lot is I think there are some people on campus who would actually really like to be a part of a startup, but they don't even really know what entrepreneurship is, or don't view
Yeah.
entrepreneurship as being kind of their thing. I think a lot about like engineers or like people doing research on some project. It could be somebody who's just interested in some science, or it's like a biotech thing or a med tech thing, and they're purely all about just doing research. They don't really know much about entrepreneurship. Like getting people like that involved, I think would be awesome, and kind of bring people who are just doing cool stuff into the entrepreneurial sphere and start trying to
Yeah.
create some sort of connection between those people and kind of people who are interested in the kind of business side of things. So just really just getting more students involved, I think would be an awesome change for us to make.
Yeah. And how do you go about solving that? Is it just marketing? Have you thought about like other ways to engage those types of people, or yeah, what's
Mhm.
the initial solution maybe?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the first year or so was an uphill battle just because nobody had heard of the club. So it's like we're like, oh, we're Jumbo Ventures. Like, what's that? And we were kind of starting from scratch. And then at some point, we got enough name recognition that now we're like, oh, this is Jumbo Ventures, and people are like, oh yeah, I've heard of that, or my friend is in that or something. So I think at this point, now that we've kind of won that name recognition battle to a certain extent, I think it's really just a matter of being creative in how we like reach out to people and
Mhm.
doing it in unique ways and really making an effort to reach those groups. I mean, there's kind of the like conventional marketing methods, like you post in the like class, like social media stuff or whatever. But I think like making targeted efforts to like talking to specific professors who are working on research projects or whatever it is, really making an effort to go out and get people who we want to be part of this community.
Yeah. And I guess like what do you see as like the goal of this club? Is it really just educational and get like a taste of entrepreneurship by showing up to these meetings, meeting other people who are sort of interested, like-minded, listening to people speak? Or do you hope that people sort of take the next steps and actually start like building something or joining startups? Or yeah, what do you want the outcomes to be for people that are joining this club?
Yeah, I mean, I guess optimal outcome would be that either somebody in the club, starts an actual venture, in which case that would be super cool, or alternatively, that somebody who's already working on a venture would receive a lot of value from being a part of this community. Maybe find mentors, find co-founders, find partners, whatever it is. That is the goal, is really for people to have like to work on some kind of venture. That's like what the club's built around. Like that being said, obviously, like people can get all sorts of other value adds from it. So I mean, really, whatever people want to get out of it, like as long as it's giving them some sort of value. I mean, that's really all you can ask for it at the end of the day.
Cool. And wanted to sort of transition to questions around helping students who maybe want to join the Jumbo Ventures internal team. When do you guys recruit for that? What do you guys look for? Yeah, how do people get involved?
Yeah, we're a pretty casual group in terms of, there's no real application process or timeline. Really, if
Mhm.
if you're interested in joining, just you know talk to us and show interest and like sh- kind of show initiative and show passion. The internal Jumbo Ventures team is very much like kind of self-driven in the sense that if you join the team and just want to like slack off, like no one's really gonna like force you to like get stuff done. Like it's very much like you should only join the team if you actually want to like do things and actually want to like have initiative and lead projects and kind of come up with
Yeah.
new ideas and really like be a leader on some specific initiative. So if you want to join it, I guess I'd just say talk to us and kind of show us that you have a desire to like do something to make the club a better value add for the Tufts entrepreneurial community.
Mm. Cool. And last question, is there anything I didn't ask about that you think is important for a student who wants to join the club or someone who wants to join the internal team?
Um, I mean, I guess the kind of one thing I'd say is like whenever somebody asks like how do I get the most out of Jumbo Ventures? The answer I always give is that you get out what you put in. I think that's super true. Like we've had people who, come to some club meetings, have fun, probably learn some stuff, and they get a small value add. And then we've had people who come in, they're super engaged, they're talking with our speakers afterwards, they'll get the speaker's email, they get like internships or like job offers from speakers. It was very much, both being a club member and being a part of the Jumbo Ventures leadership team, you get out what you put in. There's really like no one's making you do anything. It's just trying to provide an opportunity for you so that if you put in the work and put yourself out there and try your best to get a lot out of the club, then we're hopeful that we've created a community and a space where that's possible. So that's kind of the overall like assessment of how to get the most out of the club, I'd say.
Awesome. Great way to finish. Thank you so much, Ben, for joining me today.
Absolutely, man. Yeah.